Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon. Welcome back once again to the Carpenter Shop, where together we're growing just a little bit closer and growing up into what it is that God has called us to be and do. Today, I want to read you out of Colossians chapter 1, verse 24, where it says this: I now rejoice in my sufferings for you and fill up in my flesh what is lacking in the afflictions of Christ for the sake of his body, which is the church. I'm sure you did not hear the news about Pastor Kelom Kalyan Tete. He was seized in broad daylight by Hindu extremists, tied to an iron post at a busy intersection in Delhi. More than 150 people beat, taunted, and assaulted him as he was put on display for his faith and proclaiming Christ there in a public arena. School children kicked his legs. Others would come by and punch him in the head, chest, stomach, and back. He was repeatedly spit on, slapped in the face. About noon, bindings on his hands came loose and he managed to escape. He expected to die, but God somehow preserved him for continued service. Now, I tell you his story, and I started by saying, surely you probably have missed that news account, because things like that happen more often than you think they do. And things like that happen in countries that are far away from where most of us live, we think that could never happen to us, or that would never happen in the places that we find ourselves. But I can tell you this, that pastor was not the first, nor will he be the last to receive such treatment from the world around us. But here's what you have to remember. As we read the passage, our sufferings are never in vain. That is tragic, and it's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching to hear that someone is persecuted or picked upon that way for their faith. But at the end of the day, here's what I would remember to tell you, that all of our sufferings, no matter what it is, they're used by God in some way to accomplish far more than we could ever fathom. The big question that everybody always wants to know is why? And the big answer that can never show up is why? Because nobody here on this earth has the answer to that question. Yet by the same token, you have to decide, do you trust a God that is bigger than you, that sees things outside of time and space, and is able to look in and know that he's going to take whatever's happening to you and use it for his glory? Our prayer should be, God, make us brave, because we never know what we're going to face. I think somewhere along the line, as Jesus grew up in the carpenter shop, he became very aware that in the course of his lifetime, he was going to face opposition, persecution, and ultimately death. And yet, it was the times of growth and growing up and beginning to understand that call of God in his life that helped prepare him for that moment. A life lesson we all need to learn. A little bit grim, no doubt, but it is life. And it's the battle that we all face. And so I look forward to joining you next time here in the Carpenter Shop.